We're standing by the west doors of the church here because we're talking about someone who was not having a memorial inside the churchyard but was buried in the church. And indeed, until about 1818, if you were anyone in the parish, if you were a connétable, if you were a bailiff, you were just as likely to be buried in the church. The church had no floor, just beaten earth, and if you were important, they just dug up a bit of the floor of the church and put your coffin in there. And it's a story about a man who is probably one of the worst criminals in St Saviour's, but he was a bailiff of the island. He lived at Longville, and his name was Hostes Nicolle, Nicolle being a very good Jersey name. And this was the late 15th, 16th century, I think. And he was a very wealthy man, but he was jealous of a poor man who lived next to his holdings, his land, who had rented a space from his dad. And he was a butcher, this poor man. His name was Antoine, another really good Jersey name. And the bailiff, Hostes Nicolle, thought that his dad had given too generous terms for the letting of the house to Antoine, and so tried to persuade him to take on different terms, which would have given more money to said wealthy bailiff. Antoine refused. So Hostes Nicolle killed two of his own sheep. And remember, Antoine was a butcher, killed two of his own sheep and hid them on Antoine's land. He then sent his own men to look for his missing sheep and found the two dead sheep hidden on the tenant's land. And he accused Antoine of stealing his sheep. And as bailiff, he had this man arrested, tried and hung in the same day. So much for justice. And a writer writing about 20 years after the event, remember we're talking about 16th, 17th century, it's a long time ago, but about 20 years later he wrote, as the man was about to be hung, he said to the public there watching that Hostes Nicolle would meet his maker and have to account for his terrible action within 40 days. And the writer of the history says on the 39th day, Hostes Nicolle died. It doesn't say what of. A guilty conscience, maybe even suicide, you don't know. Some say he fell off a horse. Maybe he was so nervous of the 40th day coming. And this very bad man, being important, was buried in the church. Okay? If you want